Welcome back to Attack on Cowboys. And for some reason, the Dallas Cowboys continue to get attached to every single trade rumor and every player that's on the trading block. Allegedly. Supposedly. Let's go ahead and throw some water on this one as, man, what are we doing? Man, shut your up. This rumor here, y'all, is brought to us by Mike Fisher. Remember, he's one of the reporters that's stationed at the Star in Frisco. Longtime beat reporter for the Cowboys. Mike Fisher has put out an article that is linking the Dallas Cowboys to a potential trade with the Jets' Breece Hall for Jalen Tolbert. Now, before y'all get too happy in the chat, before y'all get way too happy in the chat, because I know some of y'all underwear just got tight a little bit. You was like, ooh, relax. If you actually click into these articles and you don't just read headlines, you will see that it reads as follows. Again, by Mike Fisher, August 15th, 2025. It is another one of those Dallas Cowboys rumors that just won't go away. When the New York Jets first drafted Breece Hall early in the second round of the 2022 NFL Draft, the team believed he could be a feature back. That never quite happened. And now a new regime is in place. So does that mean Hall is not long for the Big Apple? Rumors linking Hall to Dallas have been around all offseason. But then in the spring, reality happened in three ways. One, the Cowboys signed veterans Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Two, they wanted to add more in the NFL draft and did so, picking two backs in Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa. Both facts so far. Three, and what have the Jets been saying about all of this? Speaking to reporters during the draft, Jets first-year general manager Darren Moogie made it clear, Moogie's a crazy name, I probably just said it crazy, that the team was not looking into any trade conversations for the veteran. Okay, more cold water on this. I haven't had any talks with any teams about Breece Hall. He's on the team, Moogie said. Okay, he hasn't had any talks with any teams about Breece Hall. He's on the team. And since then, new Jets coach Aaron Glenn has informed the player that he won't be traded. Now, all things are fungible, as Cowboys owner Jerry Jones likes to say. But Dallas signed two backs, then drafted two more, then the Jets said no deal. And yet, here we are again with Hall's names in the news, as a rumor anyway. As the gossip goes, Dallas could trade backup receiver Jalen Tolbert in exchange for Hall. We have no indication from either team that such a deal is in the offing, but we do get the logic behind the speculation. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually am not upset at Fish for this. I know some of y'all are gonna be like, "Oh, Fish is, man." I get what he did. He used a headline that people are perpetuating, that people are pushing, and he got people to click into said headline and then doused it with truth. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He doused it with truth. That's how you do it. I mean, that's how you dominate negative headlines. That's how you dominate the negative entities that are going to give you the wrong news. Is you use the same type of headlines those entities would use, and then you give it some truth to it. Hey, I can't get mad at this at all. I can't get mad at how Fish packaged this because, honestly, I use the same type of strategy at times. If I know that there's a conversation happening, or if I know that there's a dominant thought being pushed in the community, and even if I don't agree with it, I may use it as the headline for one of my videos, a thumbnail, a title, or whatever it may be, because that way, for one, it takes up that headline in the algorithm. I use my influence to wash out that algorithmic pull, and I'm able to dominate that specific headline, but when people click into it, it's giving you a reality-based perspective. It's giving you a grounded perspective. So, yeah, the headline, the drawing point is sensational because that's what the bad guys are using. They're using sensationalism. But when you get in here, it's like, oh, I'm getting hit with the truth and some entertainment, and that's why it's cool with y'all. So, Fish, I applaud you for addressing this because this is something I continue to see about Breece Hall potentially going to the Dallas Cowboys. And some of the stuff that's kind of fueled this is Breece Hall tweeting this just a week ago. Time will tell. And I think this was around the time more trade rumors popped up about him. And this was his response to those rumors. He just said, time will tell. Obviously, if a player says something like this, that's not going to put water on those rumors. And if you scroll down, there's quite a few people talking about him to the Cowboys in this thread right here on the Breece Hall post. So it's a New York Jets player post, and a lot of people are, in fact, talking about him. Hey, Cowboys, hey, come to the Cowboys. So I get why the need to address it was there. And quite frankly, Fish, I'm a piggyback you, my boy. It's going up as its own individual video. We're going to do the same thing. I got you. We're going to put water on this thing because, quite frankly, it doesn't make sense, y'all. It just doesn't make sense if you look at it. If you look at the backs we have, the proven backs that we have right now. While Breece Hall has, in fact, been more productive than them, he's only 24 years old. I don't see how it makes sense to add more clutter to this running back room. You legitimately have two veterans that I don't think either one of them are going to get cut. I think the Cowboys are going to keep both of these guys. Hell, Miles Sanders, since 2022, which is when Breece Hall was drafted, Miles Sanders has averaged 4.3 yards per carry. And it's not like he was with Philly the whole time since then. So he's still a very viable running back. Javonte Williams, he's averaged 3.7 yards per carry, but we know he's had some injury issues and so on and so forth. But either way, yes, Breece Hall, he's been more productive. Since 2022, he's been a much more productive player. But at the end of the day, you have too many guys in that room. I don't think it makes sense that if you are going to make a move for an outside player at this point, I don't think it makes sense to go for a running back. I think the Joneses probably have one more bullet left in the holster, bro. I think they got one more bullet left in the chamber, and I think they're going to spend that bullet on a cornerback or some help on the defensive line. But honestly, I think cornerback is probably the leading candidate, depending on some of the health diagnoses of some of their guys coming back. The Josh Butlers, the Trevon Diggs, the Savone Rebels. They have a lot of corners hurt right now. So if those guys, they get their checkup right before the season starts, and the doctor's like, I don't know, and the player's like, I don't know, then I think the Cowboys probably make a move for a veteran that's not going to take much time to come in and pick things up. Stephon Gilmore. Gilly is still floating around out there. His name has been very, very quiet. The Cowboys have continued to mention, including Will McClay, they have continued to mention that they're going to keep an eye on the health of that corner room. And if guys aren't available, then they're likely probably going to go see if they can get some help. And I think a Stephon Gilmore is going to be the perfect remedy for that, to be quite frank. Now, the defensive tackle, we keep talking about defensive tackles, but unless there's some surprise cuts when these teams go down to 53 men, I don't know who do you go out and get that you're not going to have to spend a substantial amount of resources for that instantly improves your defensive tackle room. I know there's guys like DJ Reader and stuff, but those guys are on teams. They're rostered. Who? But the Breece Hall thing doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, we got to throw some water on that, y'all. I don't think that there's nothing to this. So do not feed into this. If anybody brings this up, if anybody brings up a trade for anybody, the Cowboys, they're not actively looking for trades right now for anybody. But by no means, we haven't heard that from anywhere. No whispers of that or anything. So, yeah, y'all, just cool it.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still in ball? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still in boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still in boys.